ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה. ואמרתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Eli is going to lead us in the Shema, page 41.
Shema
Yisrael
Adonai Eloheinu
Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר
אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובמלאכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
Shekoach, you can go sit. We're going to continue privately on page 42. Vehaya im Shabbat Yisrael.
Adonai Elohechem, amen. We're going to go zod.
Privately on page 43A or B. We join together in the English on page 43B in the far left-hand column. Please join together with me where it says the gift of Shabbat. Sovereign of all creation, God Most High, your power is manifest in the destiny of peoples and nations. You delivered Israel from bondage in Egypt, for it's your will that we should be free. You've given us Shabbat to commemorate that freedom, to teach us that no one shall be master and no one a slave. Help us to break every shackle asunder, hastening the day when the strong will be just and the weak will no longer know fear. You, our Creator, are mindful of your handiwork. Your ordinances are all conceived in wisdom. You commanded us to cease from our labor, that we may find joy and peace in Shabbat. For we were not made only to labor. We must rest and reflect, that we may sense your presence. We thank you, our Creator, for the gift of Shabbat, your gift to Israel, that blesses all of humanity. We'll continue on page 44 with Micha Mocha.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, O Sefer Norah Tehilot, O Sefer Malchutecha Ra'u Vanecha, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה אלינו ויאמרו, זה אלינו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר כי בדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלום יד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Page 45, we sing together Hashkivenu, the evening prayer for peace.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. We rise and invite Elia back up to lead us in Vishamru. We're on page 46.
שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית
עולם. Eli's going to lead us in Chatzi Kaddish.
Zavim Kadash Rabba Be'alma Divra Kirtei Ve'amlich Malchutei B'chayechan V'yamechan U'chayedachu Beit Yisrael Ba'gala Ba'gala U'bizman Kariv Ve'yimeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'alam Ol Me'amaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'arvidramam V'nasa V'yitadla V'yitala V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha
Barichu
Leila min kol birchata v'shirata
Tosh bechata v'nechemata Tamiran me'alama v'yimeru. Amen.
You can be seated, except for Elia. This is the time where, just for a minute. This is the time where we have to share with the community what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for, something good that happened this past week or something good that you're looking forward to in the coming week, so we can all share in the simcha and the joy of good things happening. And I believe that Ellie requested the opportunity to go first and share what she's grateful for.
With that, I'm Elia. Why do I keep on laughing? Okay, I need to stop laughing. And I'm grateful that tomorrow is my bat mitzvah. So, yay! About that. Yay! Yay!
Hold it
yay.
in, Ellie. Don't get too excited. Save some energy for tomorrow. Mazel tov. So what we're going to do, for those of you who are here, we're going to move this mic down. It's going to get feedback? No, if you do it from here, you don't get feedback, and we'll turn the camera. You can talk to the people on Zoom too. So if there's anybody else who'd like to share what they're grateful for or thankful for, you can come up here to the mic. You can even make like a little line over here if you want.
All right. My name is Matthew. Hello. And I am really grateful that Elia, my sister, gets to have her bat mitzvah. Even though it's been a tough last year, I'm really glad that she got to get through it and that she gets to have this great day.
Hi, I'm Shayna. Shabbat Shalom. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you, guys. And I also like Zoom, but I really like this. Today is my son's birthday, and I had him when I was exactly 20 years old, 44 years ago. And he is an Israeli soldier, so he's been in the IDF for about 26 years. And it's just wonderful because I'm so grateful that I could give back a little bit to Israel for all it's done for me and to Jewish people and my rabbi and cantor and community. So there you have it. Grateful that I got to have a son and a daughter.
Amen.
Thanks.
And happy birthday, Dave. Just watch your step.
It's my birthday. I gave birth.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom. I'm Karen.
I'm Steve.
We're Elia's parents, if you don't know. We're just very grateful that we're really grateful after this year because this whole past year we didn't know what was going to happen, and we're just really grateful that things are getting better and that we're able to celebrate Elia's bat mitzvah the way sort of she wanted to, but a lot better than what we had imagined just a couple of months ago. And so we're just really proud of her, and we're very grateful for all the people that are joining us today and that will be joining us tomorrow. And
we're really grateful to have her as our daughter.
she brings us a lot of joy and laughter.
Amen.
We're also grateful for the Dodgers win over the Giants yesterday.
Anyone else here have anything they want to share? All right, we're going to see if there's anyone on Zoom. Easiest way is to unmute your microphone and raise your hand electronically. All right, we're going to go to Elaine Friedman.
Well, I'm saving it all up. My youngest granddaughter just graduated from Cal State, Oxnard Shores, I think it's called. And it took her a while to do it, but she graduated with honors. And I'm so proud of her. And I'm grateful that I went away for a few days and stayed with my niece and nephew in Pismo Beach and actually had cinnamon rolls and coffee sitting at a table watching the ocean. So it was wonderful to go. It was wonderful to come home since I shared a double-sized bed with my daughter and her dog. I slept 12 hours last night when I got home. And then I have something not so grateful. Another granddaughter is going through some very serious testing, and I'm hoping next week I'll be able to share some gratefulness, I hope.
Washlema to her. Thank you. We're going to go to Bill.
I am grateful that Monday I'll be celebrating my birthday with my whole family in person. And I'm also grateful that the government decided that my birthday should be a national holiday this year.
Awesome job.
We're going to be celebrating in our own homes with barbecues and just for you, Bill.
Thank you.
Anyone else on Zoom? Let me see if anyone's waving their hand in front of their camera. Elaine, did you have something else? You need to unmute yourself.
I just realized when Bill shared, am I unmuted?
You're good.
That Arnie's birthday would have been on the 31st. And so he shared it with a very nice person.
Zichrono livracha. Anyone else on?
And Clint Eastwood is also born on May 31st. So it was a very manly day for birthdays.
Anyone else on Zoom have? Just looking, see if anyone's waving at me. I don't see anyone waving. All right. With all those good things, then we'll pray the Amidah privately. Please rise if you're able to. And here in the courtyard, we're going to face east towards Jerusalem. If you're using the Siddur, pages 47 to 52. Pages 47 to 52 in the prayer book, or just take the next few minutes for your own private meditation.
Na 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 Adonai, ha na 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 tzvatai tiftach, ha na 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Yeah. If you're still praying the Amidah, please continue at your own pace. We're going to conclude the Amidah with Shalom Rav, the middle of page 51.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Leolam, Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Page 54, Kaddish Shalem.
יתקרא שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי וימלי מלכותי בחיי כל ויום כל וחיי רחוב בית ישראל, בעגלה בזמן גרי וימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי מיה. יתברך וידבק ויתפע ויתרון לסברה ורבל שמי דקודשה, בריך ולהי לה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן מעלמך וימרו אמן. תתקבל שרותון כל ישראל כל דם והון וישמעיה וימרו אמן. יהי שלם רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל וימרו אמן.
Amen. Shikoch. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
How many times have you thought or maybe even said out loud, wow, I really admire so-and-so. I really admire that person. They're standing by their principles. Probably a few times. Maybe you thought it. Maybe you've even said it out loud. How many times, though, have you thought or even said out loud, you know, I really admire that person for compromising. That person, wow, they're really good at compromising. Maybe not so much. Why is it that we admire someone who stands by their principles so much and compromising seems so negative? And why is that kind of the ideal? And does Judaism actually hold that out as the ideal? I know we think about someone who stands on their principles that we're like, this person's reliable. We know where they stand. This person's honest. They tell you exactly what they're thinking. They don't change. But a person who's always standing on their principles, who's unyielding in any situation, probably they'll either succeed wonderfully or they'll probably fail miserably. The world really is black and white to them. But we know that the world is not really black and white. The world is full of gray, or actually I'd like to say it's full of a lot of colors. It's not just black, white, and gray. I think therefore, it's a range of rainbows. It's a whole rainbow. It's a whole spectrum. So the person who is unyielding in all situations maybe actually isn't seeing the world as it is. But the person who is willing to compromise is actually much more in touch with reality because they see so many different perspectives. In our parsha this Shabbat, Behalotcha, we get this interesting scene where there's kind of fighting at the top. Aaron and Miriam publicly criticized Moshe. there's disagreements between the rabbis as to what they're criticizing him for. Rashi says they criticized him for not being a good husband and father. They said he was spending too much time isolating himself away from his family. Why was he doing that? He wanted to be always pure and ready to serve God. So even though they had rejoined the camp, he had isolated himself from his family so that he could be ready at any moment to serve God. And it kind of makes sense if you remember his past experiences. His big moments with God were really solitary events. The burning bush, the revelation of the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai. He was alone. That happened just between him and God. Now, if you recall, Aaron and Miriam, they're also prophets. It's not just Moshe. Moshe is the greatest prophet, but they're also prophets. And their prophetic moments, their kind of big influence, usually happens amongst people. Their moments are happening in the context of usually bringing people together. It's just interesting to contrast one particular moment. So if you look at the splitting of the sea, what's Moshe's reaction? What's Miriam's reaction? They both have the same initial reaction is, I want to sing out. They want to say something in song, but Moshe does it by himself. The thing that we say in our daily prayers, Az Yashir Moshe, Uveneso. So first it's Az Yashir, singular, and then Moshe sings out, and then the Jewish people, the Israelites, join him. And then he says, Ashir al Adonai, I will sing out to God. After that whole long song of the sea, it says Miriam grabbed her timbrel, led the women out to dancing, and she said, Shiru Ladonai, let's all sing out to God. Not me, but let's all do it together. Aharon is famously known in rabbinic literature as being someone who's trying to bring people together, as being a compromiser. There's an interesting little segment in the Talmud where they're discussing what's the proper role for a judge when he's adjudicating a case. And they take two different opinions, and they use Moshe and Aharon as kind of the archetypes for proving their point. So on one side, it says a judge is all about ruling for the law. The judge is supposed to say, you're right and you're wrong. And they say, Moshe is the proof for this. Moshe said, Hadin Yaakov et Ahar, means the law shall pierce the mountain, which is an idiom meaning like the law is so strong it can knock out any obstacle. Right? So if you're right, it doesn't matter what the consequences are. Whenever you're right, you have to say you're right. You have to adjudicate it like that. Whatever obstacles, it's going to knock it down. The other side says, no, that's not what judges are supposed to do. Judges are supposed to mediate. They're supposed to find a compromise between the two parties. They're not just supposed to declare one side a winner and one side a loser. And they say, what was Aharon known as? Ohev Shalom, Rodev Shalom, Asim Shalom ben Adam lechavero. Aharon was the lover of peace. He was a pursuer of peace. He tried to bring peace between people. Now, I know you might be thinking, trying to tell me rabbis are like these compromiser, flexible people. Like rabbis make rules, right? Rabbis are really rigid. Okay, so on certain things, yes. But I think if you actually look at the vast body of rabbinic literature and of the laws, the rabbis actually were pretty flexible in trying to fit the Torah's laws and principles into their lived experience. Absolutely, they had red lines that they wouldn't cross. There were points of law where they just would not go in a certain direction, but on lots and lots of issues, they found compromises when there were disagreements. It wasn't my way or the highway. And there's a famous phrase, which is in the Talmud, it's also in a lot of literature from other cultures, that says you should be as flexible as the reed and not
You're frozen again, Rabbi.